What is up, y'all? Philly Fly Show checking in here, kicking it at Right Way Production Studios, and we are back for another week live from St. Paul, Minnesota. This is the Philly Fly Show, and for the first 2 weeks of the pay-per-views this year, fire pay-per-views, and fire fights, but man, the Philly Fly Show is just like we're sitting right above that line, right above the minimum line I like to be at. First week we went 7-11 on the 324 and a 325, 8 for 13. So I'm not going to complain there. We did lose some fights again on UFC 325, which super kind of sucked, and it was just a little different. But unfortunately, I make a parlay, right? And every pick I put on there hits besides two, and it's the two underdogs. I was super high on, the other one I wasn't, and Oban Elliott was the one that took a loss, and Torres Finney took a loss, and both of those hit. My parlay hits, the other six hit, but also, like, why am I always doing these eight leg parlays? You gotta start knocking them down, buddy. But I had a free $5 bet, and I was in Iowa, driving through Iowa. Totally took the bet, but it was a free $5 bet, so I ain't complaining about that. Shout out to Alexander Volkanovski, because Volk is a beast and Volk is the featherweight GOAT. There is no denying it. Just none. There is no denying it. Even if he ends up losing his title, there is no denying it. Any other fights on here? The Benoit Saint Denis. Benoit Saint Denis is a dog, dude. It's hard to knock him out. Dan Hooker tried his best, but Dan's a brutal fighter, a brutal stand-up fighter, and he's got good takedown defense. He just can't put it all together against these top-tier opponents, and Benoit Saint Denis is one of those top-tier opponents. And then Mauricio Hufi, that was a performance. I have said this, I don't know what's up with Fiziev. If he might have to change camps, man, because something about his game plan, people are just seeing right through, and they have been able to be on the hook for that one. So that was just my little recap I wanted to do for you guys, because this week we got a fight night. We go back. We don't have a pay-per-view. It's like, old school MMA for me. Fight nights are awesome because some of these up-and-comers can get on these cards and they can put on a show. So that's a firefight right there. We have a bantamweight main event. It is Mario Bautista versus Vinicius Oliveira. Now, it's a good fight to put on there. It's a bantamweight bout, but I'm just excited. I'm excited for this Paramount Plus subscription chance at UFC, because it just so far has been really good. Some of these future fight nights and fights that they put together, though, I think they got to do a little better. Like, there's certain ones that just have not been thrilling to me. I'm not going to call them out right now, but I just look in the future and look at some of these even main events, and you'll be like, But there is a coming of a new guard, so that is also a bunch of these older fighters that we've been watching for years. They're all slowly going out the door, and the young guys are coming up, and you just got to keep up with the young guys, otherwise you are not going to love MMA. And if you don't keep up with the young guys, how are you going to know MMA? So we're going to jump right in here. We're going to jump to the first fight on here. It's a match like number 13. It's a female fight. We haven't had many female fights yet this year, but they're coming. Match like 13 is a bantamweight female fight between Claudia Silva and Priscilla Cochea. Now, Cochea is a plus 124 underdog, whereas Claudia is a negative 160 favorite. I do not see what the odds makers see here. Priscilla has got crazy power. The only bad part about Priscilla is she gasses toward the end of the third round. First two rounds, she'll give you a great fight, but that third round, she's got that lactic acid is built up, and her gas tank just kind of goes down from there. I'm going to pick Priscilla. I think Priscilla knocks her out. So if you want to even sweeten your odds on a single pick Priscilla Cochea to get a KO. Don't pick around. If you want to be real nasty, pick the second round. But I'm jumping on that one. I'm even putting that one on a parlay slip if I get down there in time for one. Otherwise, I'm using underdog, so it's not fun to put a parlay slip on underdog with fights because you don't get to pick the winner. Not in my state. My state sucks. Minnesota needs to get on their shit. All right, match like number 12 here. Stay in the bantamweight division, but in the male side, we get Munin Gafurov versus Jacob Wilcast. Now, Jacob is a plus 110 underdog, whereas Mulin's a negative 140 favorite. I do not see, again, how the odds makers have him as the favorite. He might be a little more well-rounded than Jacob, but Jacob comes forward, and we've seen that in his debut fight. So I'm not going to slouch on this guy. I think he's got the real deal, and I think he can get a big, big win on Saturday. 1 out of 5 on the confidence level that he gets his hand raised. If I remember correctly, guys, this event starts about 1 hour earlier too than the rest. So just make sure you check out the time so you can get your bets in. All right, we'll jump back to the female division in a flyweight fight. Matchup number 11 is Wei Kong versus Eduarda Mora. Now Mora is a plus 235 underdog and the 13th ranked flyweight in the division. She is taking on number 12 ranked flyweight, so just one above her, and Wei Kong is a negative 320 favorite. Now, Wei Kong has a lot of skill and a lot of talent, and I think she gets a big win on Saturday, but she's got to watch it with Mora, man. Mora brings it, even though she is always an underdog in her fights. She's going to be, well, not always an underdog, but fighting the more top competitors in the ranking system, she's been an underdog. She still brings it every fight, and that's how she got a ranking. So, no slouch here, but I'm picking Wei Kong, and I'm 3 out of 5 on the confidence level that Wei Kong can get her hand raised. All right, matchup number 10 here is a bantamweight male fight. This is a good fight here, guys. Said Nurmagomedov versus Javid Basharat. Now, Javid is a negative 136 favorite, whereas Said is a plus 108 underdog. It's pretty much a pick 'em here, guys. You can go whatever side you want. Said's just not shown me he's that level of fighter anymore against these top prospects, because he had a ranking, or he got close to a ranking, or fought for a ranking, and it didn't show up well. Javid is no slouch. Yes, he has some losses, but hey, he is a good MMA fighter. So I'm picking Javid here, and I'm 3 out of 5 on the confidence of it. He will get his hand raised. Wouldn't go finish or anything here, because I don't think Said gets finished, but decision win, definitely going Basharat there. All right, we'll jump to another female fight. Strawweight division, Bruna Brazil versus Caitlin Souza. Caitlin's a negative 166 favorite, whereas Bruna is a plus 130 underdog. Going Caitlin Souza here, but both these fighters, man, I know I've watched them each fight. I'm just not big on either of them in the top ranking system, in the top 15. Caitlin Souza looks like she looks the part, but then when she gets in the ring, it's like the gas tank just goes, or something just goes, and she doesn't have that killer instinct. I'm hoping she can find it here. I'm picking her to win, but I'm not very confident on it. 1 out of 5 on the confidence level here. This next fight, I looked it up today. Cannot find it on when I look up stuff, I used to be able to just go through ESPN and it'd give me bet odds where it was together, and then I can look up their past fights. Now I have to do it on FanDuel to get the odds, and to look at their previous fights, it's just easier to look at ESPN, because I can go in and look at a couple other extra things that I liked, and stats, and just there's a bunch of extra things I like on ESPN. I found this fight on ESPN, but I can't find it on FanDuel, so it's making me think this fight's not happening. It's been already called off. But I'm just going to, you know what? I can't even name it out here. I didn't put odds on it because I couldn't find the odds, so how can I put the fight on there? If you find Nikolai Dimitrov versus Nico Price on there, you can go whatever round you're on. I'd pick Dimitrov, because Nico, he's a dog, but he just isn't a UFC fighter anymore, unfortunately. If he gets a win on Saturday, and if he could actually fight, that would be fire, but I don't see him fighting on Saturday since I can't get this fight. So the featured prelim bout of the evening is a welterweight bout between Alex Morono and Daniil Doshenko. Now, Doshenko is a negative 590 favorite. Alex Morono plus 370. You can put your money on Morono, but just so you know, he just doesn't look. He didn't look himself his last fight. That's why the odds makers have this would be a lot closer if he was at 100%, but no one thinks he's the same fighter anymore after his last fight. That was not an Alex Morono fight, his last one. So he's got to show me on Saturday that he's back in it. I'm picking Doshenko here, and I even probably I want to pick Doshenko to get a finish because that's very hard on a guy like Alex Morono. But he does get a decision win on Saturday. 3 out of 5 on the confidence level that he can get his hand raised. We jump to the main card of the evening, people. Start out in the light heavyweight division. Male side, obviously in the light heavyweights because there's no light heavyweight female. Male side light heavyweight, Dustin the Diamond Jacoby versus Julius Walker. Now, Julius is a plus 154 underdog. Dustin Jacoby is a negative 200 favorite. Dude, Dustin, he's got it. But I think age is right there clashing with him. In certain fights, it looks like the age is just caught up with him. In other fights, it's more like he's still got that fluid kickboxing style. I love his style. I love when he fights. Fighting a guy like Julius Walker, it's going to be a little tricky, but Jacoby can get that hand raised, and I'm going Jacoby here. 3 out of 5 on the confidence level. He can get his hand raised. Back to the bantamweight division in the male side. Jean Masamudo versus Fahid Basharat. Now, Fahid is a negative 290 favorite, whereas Jean is a plus 215 underdog. Yo, this Basharat is undefeated and looks the part. Jean, he's a very, very good fighter. I'm very keen on him watching his career kind of go forward here because he's very new to the UFC. But Farid, man, it's hard to beat that guy. He's a good point fighter. He can knock you out. He's good at grappling defense. He's even got some submission game, but not a lot submission game. But he's got good grappling defense too. So Jean's going to have a tough time here because Jean's mentality is grappling mixed up with the striking. More MMA style. More natural MMA style. But Farid, he's just so well-rounded. I don't think he loses on Saturday. I'm picking him with that negative 290. 3 out of 5 on the confidence level that he can get his hand raised. Match number 4 is a middleweight bout. It is a badass banger fight. Mikhail Olajushek versus Marc-Andre Baralt. Baralt is a plus 255 underdog. Negative 350 on Mikhail Olajushek. Now, Olajushek, he was a very, very good striker. Very good grappling defense, but he had some crazy power behind his strikes. He ended up going to I hope I don't screw this up because I swear I'm right. I know it's one of the Brazilian guys. It's Team Shootabox, if I'm not mistaken. It was that or Fighting Nerds. He's either at the Fighting Nerds or Shootabox. I can't remember now because both those are my favorites, so they're both Brazilian. Man, I can't remember which one it is. It might be Fighting Nerds, but he went over to a new camp, got way better at the grappling, can submit people now. Like you got to be scared of his submissions, but he's got those hands now. He's a dangerous fighter. I think this camp move was the best thing that ever happened to him. I think this guy could be in one of our next top 10. I can almost, I won't say that word, but I would put betting money he'll make the top 10 ranking system in the middleweights. Fighting in the top 5, if he gets a win there, he's becoming champion. But man, it's a good run for him. I'm really excited to see what he does against Marc-Andre Baralt because I'm Mikhail Olajushek. He's getting his hand raised. He could even get a finish on Saturday. 3 out of 5 on the confidence level. He can get his hand raised. Heavyweight bout. Just heavyweight bout here. It's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to talk up this guy because he has shown me in the UFC twice in 2 fights he can't strike with people, and he's supposedly working on it. Yes, I know he's a grappler. His main side's grappling. I get that. But you can't just be a grappler in the UFC anymore. You can't be one-sided. You have to be well-rounded. Even if you're not elite in striking, you just got to be good and above the bar, and then your grappling will succeed that, or vice versa. Jelton Almeida versus Razan Kunanev. Kunanev is a plus 124 underdog. Jelton, negative 160. I'm picking Jelton, but I'm not confident. That guy cannot strike. He's a heavyweight guy who should be able to hit people and even just throw good counters. Even if he's not precise at striking, just be able to throw counters. The guy can't do it. Kunanev, he's well-rounded. He can grapple. He can strike. He's got good grappling defense. I wouldn't say anything about submissions. because I don't know that. I haven't looked at his record enough to see if he can submit a bunch of people. But Gelatin can. I'm picking Gelatin here because if it goes to the ground, I think Gelatin gets a submission. But I'm not confident on it. 1 out of 5 on the confidence level there. Gelatin's also the 6th ranked in the heavyweight division. So he's putting his ranking on the line. So Kuniv, I really hope you upset me on this pick because Gelatin's not my favorite fighter, if you can tell. Flyweight male division fight. We got number 6 rank Amir Albazi versus Kachori. Oh my gosh. How do you say his last name again? Horigugue? Alright. Kachori, though, came from I think he came from Ryzen, and everyone was saying he was too old to compete in the UFC. I thought he was going to be too old to compete with these young guys. His first fight in the UFC upsets me. Very, very, very fine. I like his game. I like everything about him now. You can upset me all you want. But to fight the number 6 rank, and you're the number 8th ranked in Kachori versus the number 6 in Elmir. Elmir is very, very good. Very well-rounded, but his striking is... He's got power, too, but very good striker with power in the flyweight division. Sign me up for this fight. I'm ready to see who wins on Saturday. But my very 3 out of 5 confidence level is at Amir Albazi with that plus 250. Kachori negative 340. Amir is going to get a big, big win on Saturday. Write it down, guys. He's going to beat Kachori. I think the odds makers are just looking at Kachori's last fight and putting it there because that's the only way I could see him having such great odds. This should be more on the... Kachori could be at negative 180 or 160 and I'd be happy with it. Just everything else is disrespectful to Amir. Amir is going to get a big win on Saturday and he's going to show us. 3 out of 5 on the confidence level. Gets his hand raised. Main event of the evening, boys and girls. It's a nice, quick podcast for you just to get some picks in and make some little extra cash on the side. Mario Bautista, number 9th ranked, is fighting the 11th ranked Vinicius Oliveira. Now, Vinicius is a plus 158 underdog. Mario Bautista, negative 205. If you know, I'm a big Mario Bautista fan. And when I mean big, I mean big. That's my guy. I picked him in a lot of fights even when he's lost, and I'm just still proud of the way that guy fights. I love him. He's a very good, well-rounded fighter. I'd like him to get a little better at striking, but that's on him. But he's fighting a guy who's got some crazy power, some crazy swiftness, but he has a gas tank issue. So if this goes to the 4th and the 5th round, which I don't see it going, Mario wins this fight. If it ends in the first 2 rounds, Vinicius wins this fight. It's the 3rd round. I can't tell you who wins the fight. First 2, Vinicius, because Mario's not going to knock him out. It's not his game. But Vinicius has got some crazy power. He's also cuts like 50 pounds to get the bantamweight. So in the future, that is not going to be a bantamweight contender. That guy is going to be a featherweight contender because cutting that much weight is just insane. It's not going to last that long. He's young. He can do it now, but it ain't going to last long. I'm picking Vinicius to win. I think he knocks out Mario Bautista in the 1st or the 2nd round, if that's what you want to go with. 1 out of 5 on the confidence level that Vinicius knocks him out or wins the fight because Mario is a game fighter. Now, guys, it's a great week. MMA is back. Super Bowl is on Sunday. Saturday we get fights. I'm off all weekend, even through Monday. It is a fire weekend. I want y'all to go out there, win some money. Like and comment on my show and let's chit-chat about some stuff. I'm always here, baby. I always respond. Let's get it. Shout out to Right Way Production Studios for always making this happen. And we will see you next week. Peace out.